Jump scare. Hello, gamers. Welcome to first real stream with new model. Wow, 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 wow. So fancy, so cool, so sick, so awesome. Yeah. Oh, that was a cute face. Hold on. Yeah. Hi, guys. Welcome. I already said it. Welcome to Art Strim. We are Strim. For the topic of today's stream has changed a little bit. I was originally going to do a working on mail club stuff for next month. But then I realized I had a bunch of just like little piddly things I kind of had to take care of first. So yeah, we're doing those first. First up is this piece for my next video that's going up. This is literally just I'm doing an art style challenge for my next video that I'm hoping will go up on Friday, if not Friday, sometime next week. And I wanted to do like a control piece to just be like, hey, here's what my art style looks like normally. Here's how I usually draw, and then we can compare it to all the others. Look at my mouse tracking. Wow. Matthew Power, thank you for the coffee donation. I appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it kindly. Unfinished, finished stream. Yeah, so I've got a couple of things. I'm not sure how many of them we will get through. But I have this. I have the art for the thumbnail for the video. And then if we get done with both of those things, which we likely will, I don't think either of them will take too much time. I have comic pages to work on. Because chat, we are once again in an area where for a couple of weeks, I'm gonna have comic pages where it's just characters talking. And so there's not a whole lot of like visual spoilers. So if we get through stuff, we can work on some comic pages together. We can ink some stuff. And it's pretty easy. It's just like characters talking to each other with very minimal backgrounds. And I'm so excited. Hey guys, do you want to know a secret? Do you guys want to know a secret? Stream chat, do you guys want to know a secret? If you're not caught up on Cast Off, this won't make any sense. But if you are, the reason that Sage took all his furniture, in addition to all of his books and stuff, is because I didn't want to draw that shit anymore. I did not want to draw that shit anymore. I'm like, yeah, he can take all of it. I don't want to have to draw that fucking room anymore. There was literally, I believe it was chapter 7 where they steal the boat. And then they're trying to they try to steal the boat and then they run away. I very purposely staged that scene so that there are large ships on either side of the little boat they're trying to steal, so that I do not have to draw a bunch of other ships in the background for every single shot in that scene. And I knew that was going to be a pain, so I wrote that in the script, that the tiny little boat that they stole, the little dinghy, was flanked by larger ships so that Star does not have to draw the larger ships. There was a message with the coffee. It didn't show up. It should have. It should have shown up. Where's my coffee bookmark? They're gonna make me log in. Yes. Come on, coffee. Don't be like this. Don't be like that. Confirm your oh my fucking god. It's making me do a whole thing. Two-factor authentication. Shut up, coffee. I just want to see what note Ms. was. Not now, coffee. Did anyone here ever have a packet of marshmallow-only Lucky Charms before? I have not, but I have seen those at the store and they look very dangerous. Also, Dom87, thank you for the super chat. Your VTuber model reminds me of a German-French residence, but it looks lovely. Thank you. I wasn't going for like anything like historical super specific, but a lot of people have said like kind of German-ish, and I just like the floofs. I'm just like the floofs. But yeah, I'm gonna draw now. I'm gonna draw now. This should not take me too terribly long. Like, even the actual art style recreations did not take me very long because I made a poll on Patreon that was like, hey guys, my next video is gonna be an art style challenge. What art styles do you want me to do? Here's a list of like, I think it was something like 25 art styles. It's like, which ones of these do you guys want me to do? And patrons picked a bunch of easy ones. Patrons picked a bunch of really easy ones. And so I'm like, y'all are spoiling me, but it's almost like you guys know that I'm really strapped for time this month. So appreciate that. But, even though the one or two that were more detailed were still, like, not too difficult. And that's because I chose to do busts only for this one. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't have more time because I would have loved to do full bodies for all of the art styles, but... Chat, I just did not humanly in me have the time to do 10 full body portraits for a single video that had to be out by the end of April. I did not have it in me. I would have simply passed away, is the thing. New model's looking good, love their movement. Thank you, she bouncy. I like that I can just draw on my silly little tablet now. What art style is this? This is mine. I'm doing a control group one, to show just like, hey, here's how I draw normally. And then we can, compare to all the other ones. But off the top of my head, some of the ones I did, Avatar: The Last Airbender was one of them. Owl House was one of them. Gravity Falls was one of them. And I'm like, y'all keep picking easy ones. Truth be told, I did have some difficulty with the Avatar one, but that's just me. The most difficult one, simply because it was the most rendered, was Witch Hat Atelier, because I did it for I did the manga style specifically because, you know, the anime's not out yet, and so I did the manga style. I like the illustrations that the artist does, and her style is so pretty. It's also very intricate. So that was tricky. The colors were not hard. It was just like a lot of ink work, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. Once I was kind of dreading it, but once I sat down and did it, it was fun. Fun and nice. I almost feel like, you know, I'm almost done with like all the images for the art style challenge, and yet I feel like I drew them all in my original outfit. Now I'm just like, well, shit, I just revealed my VTuber's new outfit. I should have done all of the art style challenge, like, recreations in my new outfit. And then I could have been like, hey, you guys should come to my stream. My VTuber has a new outfit now. I didn't even think about it. And I was just like, ah, beans. Ah, beans. Beans. Jeezy beans. But whatever. I feel like the original outfit's more iconic anyway. And it's not like I don't still have it. I do still have it. There it is. Wow. Does not go with the hat though. But yeah. But see, the cool thing about the art challenges like this, like drawing 10 different art styles, is, you know what that means, chat? You know what that means? It means that I can do 10 shorts. One for each art style. Content recycling! I love to recycle. Beans. How long did the model take? A year and a half. But that was not like me actually working on it. I said in the last stream, I started the art and got about 75, 80% done with it during my break at the end of 2023. But then I didn't get it all finished before my break ended, And I had to, you know, jump right back into working on stuff, and I just never had time to come back and finish it until the break I took at the start of this year. I finished all the artwork for the D&D video, and I still had like a week left of my vacation, heavy air quotes vacation, and I was like, well, now I'm bored. I'm bored now. And so I finally finished busting out the art for my new VTuber. And then I passed it off to Sarah, and it took her, I think, probably like 2 months to finish the rig. Just because, you know, she's busy. This is not her full-time job. She was like doing it between work and stuff. And she was trying a lot of new techniques with it. And then she finished it and got it to me, like, before I even moved. Like, we finalized all the details in the last couple of weeks that I lived in my old house. I just haven't been able to, you know, do a reveal for it because I've been so freaking busy with everything, that I have not had time to show it off. And in fact, I almost postponed the reveal stream because I was so busy. I ended up deciding, okay, I'll do it, but it's going to be a short stream so that I can jump back into work because I'm busy. So yeah, but I mean, like, outfit reveal stream does not have to be anything long. I feel like I'm too worked up to committing to like every single time I stream has to be like 3 hours. No, I don't have to do that. I'm trying to work myself out of that habit. It's like, listen, sometimes a stream can just be short and it's fine. It doesn't have to be like a huge thing every time you do it. What? Matt Pryor, thank you for the coffee donation. Coffee, are you gonna actually show the message? Apparently not. I wonder if maybe I need to update the integration, because it should show messages with the, it should have the messages also pop up. I don't know why it's not doing that. Yeah, it should also show up in chat. I wonder if they changed their, the integration recently. Did you see the Minecraft movie? No, because I don't know what Minecraft is. And honestly, I haven't really even seen that many people talk about it because the people I follow on social media don't really play Minecraft. So if you are looking for reactions to the Minecraft movie from me, you will not get them. Because I don't know what Minecraft is. It's showing on the stream, but it just came down and it didn't show it. It's showing on stream, but it should also show the messages that are going with it. I don't know. Maybe I need to update the, coffee thing. Yeah, shit. I just drank my water completely wrong and got water everywhere, good lord. Okay. Let's drink correctly, maybe. Maybe that's helpful. Okay, why did my chat freeze on my YouTube interface? Because I can see chat going on OBS, but it appears as though my browser has frozen. New model, new mouth. True, I gotta learn how my new mouth works. It wasn't even a mouth issue. I just picked up I have like a little cup with like a little like sip hole at the top, like a coffee cup type of situation. And I drank it from like the side of the hole. And so most of it just splashed all over me because I drank it out of the wrong place. Hey, Firefox, what the fuck, bud? Firefox has just completely stopped working. It like won't even open. That's cool. You know, Firefox, I switched to you instead of Google Chrome because I was told that you take up less memory. And so that's cool. I mean, I guess I can still see chat in OBS. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna maximize my OBS window and look at chat through there. Don't say anything that I need to moderate, chat. Swear to God, they're gonna make me freaking switch back to Chrome, which I did not want to do. Now chat is too small and I can't see it. Ugh. Fine, you're gonna make me open fucking Chrome so I can see shit and read it. Ugh. Why is this happening to me? I mean, I guess I would prefer this over a, internet issue. My internet seems to be working just fine, which is good. I have not dropped a single frame. Not one single frame has been dropped on this day. There. Now I'll put you over there. Now pause this. Now we're good. Anyway. Also, because apparently my internet was messing up and I didn't see this, Cherry Clown and CW Artist, thank you for joining the memberships. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. What do I want to do next? Let's see. Use a better Chromium-based browser like Brave. I don't know what these words are that you guys are saying. There are two browsers. Chrome and Firefox. And I guess Internet Explorer, but we don't talk about that one. Or also, aren't they calling it Edge now? Ow, the Edge. I don't know any of these other punks. Jared! Jared, thank you for the 50 gifted memberships, my guy. Goodness gracious, thank you. It's been Edge for like a decade now. No. No, it hasn't. That's silly. I already closed out a coffee and then Ollie coffee donation. Thank you. But now I gotta log back in to look at it. Oh my god. Send me a fucking two-factor authentication code again! Because I logged in with... Oh my fucking god. I'm so normal, you guys. You would not even believe how normal that I am. No, do not enable random shit. Okay, message from Ollie. Any suggestions for a girl Newfoundland dog name? Puppy. Current considerations are Haley, Hera, my dad wants Bubbles, opens to other suggestions too. Dog names. See, my thing is I'm not good at naming creatures or characters. Corgi, thank you for the coffee donation. Guys, I keep having to go over to coffee to read the donations. I just need to, I want to draw. God, what a first world problem, right? View details, but it's not showing. Okay, there's no message attached. But Corgi, thank you for the coffee donation. I appreciate it. Thank you. I have got to figure it out so that the actual message shows up on stream. Because it used to do that, and it should, and I don't know why it's not anymore. Anyway, what were we talking about? Dog names. Doggy names. Newfoundlands, those are like big puppies, right? Big puppy name. I feel like Belle is really close to Bella, which is like very, very common dog name. Big puppies, very big puppies, yeah. Drop your dog names in the chat. I know I personally am always a fan of like animal with a human name. Like Jorge. Bella was very common when I worked in a vet office. See? Yep, there you go. There you go. Pepper's cute. Pepper's very cute. And then you get a little white dog and you name it Salt. Or just Saul. It's Saul and Pepper. Ba-da-bop. Ba-da-bop. Pepper and Saul. That'd be cute if I ever get dogs. I don't know if I would get dogs anymore, though. I feel like I've gotten so used to cats, and they're so low maintenance. And I don't have to worry about boarding them whenever I leave. I just have to, like, have someone come over and take care of them. and feed the babies and pet the babies. 125 pounds. That's too big. That's almost as much as I weigh. What the fuck? That's a large creature. Good lord. Why am I getting ads on Discord? Ah, thank you, Sly. Okay, I'm gonna try and drink my water. I'm gonna do it the right way this time. Wow. Drinking water. Oh, yeah, this is completely off topic. But, man, have you ever seen people who just can't take a joke? Just can't take a joke. I posted just like a couple of screenshots of new VTuber, I think last night. Because I was taking some screenshots because I needed to make the thumbnail for this stream and a couple of like other little things. And I was just like, I love my new VTuber model so much. And so I just started taking screenshots of her just making little faces. Cause she's cute. She can make little faces and also her ears wiggle. It's very cute. And so I just posted a couple screenshots on like my community tab, and I'm like, Your Honor, I'm love her. And I said it wrong. I wrote it wrong on purpose to be funny as a joke. And tell me why I had several people correcting my grammar. It's like, it's I love her or I am in love with her, not I'm love her. And I'm like, guys. Is joke is okay, guys. Cringing from secondhand embarrassment. I mean, it's just like, guys, it's okay. It's okay. That's such a common internetism, though. Exactly. It's just, it's silly, just jokey joke internet. Like, not euphemism, but like way of speaking, because I think it's funny. Sometimes you say something wrong as a joke. Sometimes you type something with incorrect grammar for a purpose, and the purpose is comedy. Like, small is not accurate, but is good, yes. Exactly. But people in my YouTube comments were just being like, pushes up glass. Oh, hang on. I have a thing for this now. Shit. Where are my toggles? Actually, it's supposed to, that's grammatically incorrect. It's supposed to be either I love her or I am in love with her. Why did my tracking just stop working? Oh, I've moved. Actually? Yeah, I have glasses now, so I can do this very effectively. Actually, pushes up glasses that I actually have. It's your post is grammatically incorrect, and I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm keeping the glasses on for a bit. It's funny. It's cute. Actually, you're not ascending to godhood. You're just dehydrated. You're literally a comic writer as part of your job. You'd think that you'd know basic grammar, but do I though? But do I is the question. Also, I really hate to do this, but since we're committing to the bit... Oh, I misread it. Okay, sorry. That was my bad. I misread that comment. Actually, it's pronounced actually. Professor Star. Yes. But no, I just like to have a little silly fun times. I literally go on tumblr.com and I scream about my blorbos, and that's not a fucking word. That's just the internetism. You're gonna see people correcting me out of that. Nah. I forgot that's how the post ended. Out of my way, gay boy. I'm about to liberate myself from this mortal shell. Hospital. I forgot that's how that post ended. It's so fucking good. Blorbitos has been added to my dictionary because of you. Yes, good. I don't know if I was the first person who coined Blorbitos, but I definitely like I attached Ito to like everything. I started calling. I know that here's more grammar fun times for y'all. I know that the diminutive form of cat in Spanish is gatito. But I definitely call my cats catito, and also sometimes gartito. And so, so the kitties are like itty bitty petite gatitos or catitos, itty bitty babies. But I just attach Ito to everything, and so I'm like, yes, these are my blorbos, mine blorbitos. Guys, I just remembered. I haven't told you guys about my new bullshit. I have not told you guys about my new bullshit yet because it's been a week since I streamed. Guys, the girl's gonna write a book. I know this is old news, but it's new old news. Hear me out. You can see the ADHD kick in. Shut up, Jay. You already know what I'm gonna yell about. You already know what this is about. Okay. I have to take my glasses off because it's too intense. Okay, so so here's what happened. So I talked to you guys about how, you know, Star likes storytelling in many different forms, and I have been considering writing a novel, getting into prose, and to do that I have been practicing with some short stories that I've already written, and I've posted them on my Unveil, and I've been doing that, and those were all practice for eventually doing some form of longer form, like, novel story. And I was thinking, well, what better way to tell the story of my beloved Dungeons and Dragons Blorpitos than to, you know, go off and like write a whole story. And my first thought was, I love Verity. I love Verity so much. She is my precious. She is my angel. She is my babyest little girl. I have a sticker of her on the back of my phone, and I was showing to her at everybody at C2E2, and I'm like, this is my baby girl. It's like, I'm like one of those parents that has like photos of their children in their wallet, but instead I have a sticker of my D&D character on the back of my phone, and I'm showing it to everybody. Yeah, Sly was there, so I can tell you guys that it was real. I have baby girl. I also have a sticker that says shrimp is bugs, but that's entirely different. That's entirely different. Anyway, so I love Verity and I love her story and I love that campaign very, very much. And so my first thought was, what if I write a novel about Verity and her whole story? What if I do that? But then I think I've expressed this quite a bit on stream. I was like, is like, okay, well, how much do I deviate from the actual campaign, and how much do I need to change in order to make it better suited to like being an actual written story as opposed to a Dungeons and Dragons campaign? How would the adaptation be best suited? And it's like, I was like going back and forth in my head, and I was getting self-conscious because it's like, okay, well, if I write it a little bit differently, then I'm worried that some of the other players might be sad if their characters don't get to be, you know, like fully realized within the book because it's very much told from my character's point of view. And is that narcissistic of me? And I was just going back and forth really hardcore, and I was really, really waffling about it. And then I had the thought. That this is advice that I give people all the time, is that when you're first making a webcomic, your very first webcomic, the first time you ever try to make a comic should not be your magnum opus idea. You should start with something a little bit simpler, a little bit smaller in scale, and something that you can easily finish, because your very first try in a new medium is going to mostly be a learning experience. And so that also applies to, I think, writing a novel. It's like, hey, it's my first time working in a new medium. I need to do like a practice story. So maybe I shouldn't start with the Verity novel, because that one's kind of the magnum opus right now. Magnum opus. So maybe I should do something else first. And I was bouncing ideas around in my head for a while. I was like, maybe I could do some kind of prequel And I could have it still be about Verity, but it could be about like her and her little group of friends. And maybe I could do something about that. And maybe I could like come up with some sort of story that's like a prequel to the eventual story that follows the story of the campaign. And then that could be the practice novel. And I was like bouncing around, but like I had the idea, but I wasn't like super attached to it. And I'm like, how do I make this as a stand on its own thing without being super obvious that it's intended as a prequel? And I'm just like, I was waffling about it for days. And I was like, I took a friend with me to C2E2, and this is a friend that I've known since middle school, but she and I haven't hung out in a while just because I've lived so far away, and now we live 15 minutes away from each other, and it's awesome. I love moving, or rather, I love not living super far away anymore. Because now me and one of my close friends that I haven't seen in years, now I can just go over to our house whenever the hell I want because it's 15 minutes away, and I'm so freaking excited about that. But anyway, so I was telling her all about this idea because we haven't hung out for so long, and she's not really on social media, so she didn't know really like anything about any of my characters. She doesn't know anything about any of this stuff, and so she got to be my rubber duck for several conversations while we were just like sitting at the table and like talking during C2E2. And I was just like, yeah, so I have this idea and I want to write like this prequel story about these characters, but I'm not sure what I want to do with it. And like, this is kind of the story and this is what I'm rocking with. And then at some point over the course of the weekend, I had another idea. I'm trying to think of ideas for a practice novel, right? What if the practice novel is not a Verity story? What if I do something else? What if I do something that's not Verity? I've got two other characters, but you know, like Emery's campaign is publicized. I'm not super gung-ho to do anything about Emery just because like her story is there. People can watch it. It's right there. So like, I feel like there's almost no point in doing a novelization version because if people want to know Emery's story, they could just go watch it. But what about Lapis? Lapis's campaign is still relatively new. We have not gotten like super duper far into it. And I'm really enjoying the whole thing that's going on with like Lapis and Laz and all them right now. And I was thinking, what could I do? If I just follow the exact same story of the campaign, then I'm gonna have the exact same problem with the Verity novel where it's like, what if I need to do all these characters justice? And there's like 6 of us in that party. What if I do like an alternate telling of Lapis's story? Because you know who, so here's a, you guys want to know a fun story, is that Lapis is actually kind of sort of a remix of Felix. Because they have a lot of the same tropes, right? It's like I wanted to play a character with a lot of the same stuff that Felix had going on, but I didn't want her story to be exactly the same because the other players I was playing with already knew Felix's story, so I wanted to change it. But Lapis's story is very much just like, what if Felix but different? And you know who else was kind of born from a remix of Felix's story? Is Zephyr. 2 characters who are not bards, who think they're bards, going on bard adventures together. And they're both looking for people who are missing. And they both have other various like different connections that I can wriggle them into. And over the next couple of days, both at C2E2 and then a couple days later, it all just fell into just like this perfect synchronization where it's like, oh my god, these characters it's like they were made to be in the same story. It's like they were specifically built in a lab to be in the same story. That is how well these 2 characters have been like, the outline is coming together so well. And guys, also, for unrelated reasons, that also works stupid well. You know who else works really, really well together? Laz and Felix. Guys, I'm cooking. I am so cooking over here. I was yelling at Jay through the DMs the other day, and I was just like, oh my god! I was on a walk, and oh my god! It's like, I just had a thought. I had like a random thought, and I just realized it just snapped into place. snapped into place. So yeah, the quote-unquote practice novel is going to be, it's a dual narrative story, kind of, sort of. Is that one POV is going to be Lapis and Zephyr having their fun little shenanigans. Basically, Lapis is going to ask Zephyr if she can be his apprentice, and then they're going to travel around doing bard adventures together, but neither of them are actually bards, and so it's just kind of funny and silly. That gradually, over the course of the story, gets more dramatic because secrets start happening. And then there's going to be an alternate POV with Laz going through all of Laz's stuff that we kind of sort of touched on in that short story, but it's like the earlier stuff. And I'm just like, I'm vibrating, and I'm so friggin' excited. Chat, you have no idea, I'm going feral. I've drawn a few things in my sketchbook about it, but I am so excited. I am so excited. I am so excited. But yeah, so I have no idea when I'm actually going to be able to start working on that. I'm mostly going to be working on the outline first. I want to get an outline done. I have a couple of just like little, not stepping stones. What's the word I'm looking for? A couple of roadblocks that I need to get around. That I'm kind of stuck on a little bit. So I just gotta mold that clay a little bit, you know? But see, here's the thing. It's like, I've got a friend right now who's like doing a draft of a novel and they're doing it serialized, but I'm kind of scared of doing like serialized chapters because my way of writing is very out of order. And so it's like, I'm like, okay, well, what if I write this and then I decide that I want to change something about the plot? Then I'd have to go back and like change a bunch of stuff anyway. And would that be annoying for people to read and like constantly be reading old drafts and new drafts and just all this other bullshit? So we'll see. I don't know how or when or what the story is going to be or like how I'm ever going to post this or when it's going to start being a thing, but it's in my brain now. It is very firmly in my brain now. And it will not be leaving anytime soon, I'm sure, because all I've drawn for the last couple of days has been these little blue babies. I love my little blue babies. And they hate each other. They don't hate each other. Lapis finds Zephyr very annoying because Zephyr is one of those guys who just like will never give you a straight answer for anything. Because he's too gay. I mean, what? There can even be Dave. Yes, Dave is 100% going to be in this. I'm like, okay, if I write a Lapis novel and Dave is not included, the people will riot. It's me, I'm people. I would riot because we need a Dave. But the thing about the setting that I want the story to take place in is that there is no undead in the story just because of how, like, the magic system works. So I had to rework part of the magic system so that Dave could conceivably exist. Because I cannot write a Lapis story without Dave being included. He is a mandatory character. And I love him, chat. I love Dave. Oh my gosh, yes, I have this. I have a picture of this as well that I could post later. I don't have it readily available because it's on my phone. But I have a photo from C2E2 of a Skeletor cosplayer holding my little Lapis standee with Dave on it. And it's just because we've called Dave, we say that Dave talks like a nerdy Skeletor because he does. That's what his voice sounds like. And so I saw a Skeletor cosplayer and I was like, hey, if it's not too weird, can I take a picture with you holding this acrylic standee? And then he had like a friend with him who I guess was like his handler or something. And then I was like, yeah, so the thing about that is like the skull's name is Dave. And I was just like telling them about like a little bit about like, hey, here's a little bit of context for why I wanted this photo. I promise it's nothing weird. And they were very enamored with Dave to the point where I let them leave with a sticker of Lapis because it was the same design. And Dave. Everybody loves Dave. Are you using that shard-based world building for it? Yes! Yes, I am. Because my goal with that world building is for, like, all of these stories to kind of take place in the same universe. Within the same magic system. I want it to be like an anthology of stories. Because I would also, at some point, love to do a Cyrus story as well within the same universe. Just like all my D&D Blorbos, all my little characters that I come up with that I never have time to play as in like a full proper campaign, I'm just gonna fucking write a story about them. I'm just gonna write about them. I'm just gonna be a writer or whatever. Yeah, I just think it would be cool to have a bunch of different stories that are all kind of like linked by taking place in the same universe. I know that's not like the most original idea. I know a lot of fantasy writers have done that. But I think it's neat, and I would also like to do it. I think it's neat, and I would also like to. My God. There's like 300 people here. I feel like that's more people than I usually had in my streams before I took like a moving hiatus temporarily. It's like a collection of short stories. Yes, but they're not short stories, they're long stories. My short story about Laz, heavy air quotes. My Laz short story was 6,000 words, guys. Like, I don't write short stories. I write longs. Long stories. A collection of long stories, so a series. I mean, yeah, I guess. I guess, if you want to get technical about it. We just missed you. Ah. The model is working, yes. The new model is cute, and it is attracting a new audience. Mm-hmm. New audience of people. We're like, wow, look at that VTuber. I'm the same way, but with all my writing, I can't even give a short synopsis of my stories. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what like a log line would be for the Lapis story, because there's a lot of like little details that I didn't really talk about, is like why it kind of takes place like that. So my idea, this is a little bit of the world building that I forget if I've mentioned on stream or not. But basically one of the reasons why Lapis is drawn to Zephyr is that he kind of like glows with this weird light, and she's the only one who can see it, seemingly. And so she's like, okay, I don't know what that's about, but I'm very curious about it. And so now I feel like I want to like, you know, get closer to this person and see if I can't figure out why the hell he's got like this weird blue light around him that only I can see for some reason. And whenever I bring it up to him, he just kind of brushes me off and tells me that I'm weird. But also, Lapis wants to be a bard because she has amnesia, and she's tried everything that she can to figure out where she came from. And so now she's like, I'm very skilled at the harp, but I can't actually, like, play in front of people. So maybe if I get this very famous bard to get me to be his apprentice, I can work around, or I can work through the stage fright that I'm struggling with. And then I can, you know, use my music to try and find people who know who I am, and then I can ideally figure out who the heck I am using that method. But I've been trying to get over my stage fright all by myself, and I can't, I've had no luck, but maybe if this guy teaches me, then I can have some better luck with that on that front. And so she eventually, like, you know, convinces him to take her on as an apprentice. And she basically just turns into a stage manager for a while. And then they're playing together, and she finally works up the courage to play on stage, and he hears her play music for the very first time, and he freaks out. Because the music that she just kind of knows, the music that she has in her head, she doesn't know what, like, songs they are, she just knows that they exist, but they're all songs that she knows how to play. And they're songs that Zephyr recognizes because they are songs that his sister wrote, his missing sister, who he is actively in search of and doing bard stuff in hopes that it will help him find her. And he suddenly realizes that this one random girl that he picked up in this town and took on as an apprentice knows music that she would only know if she had some kind of connection with his missing sibling. And then suddenly getting her memories back is like his highest priority. And it's just, I am cooking, chat! I am cooking. And when the story comes out, I'm gonna need all of you guys to forget everything that I told you in the OC's video. I need you guys to all forget all of that shit. Plot twist, Lapis is Felix. Oh, wouldn't that be a twist? Would not that be a twist? Forget what? Exactly. I already forgot. Good. You guys are doing exactly what I told you to. I need you guys to forget everything that I told you in the talking about my OCs video so that it will be a fresh surprise. And also forget everything I told you just now. This is what I accused Star of earlier. What do you mean? What did you accuse me of? I don't remember because I wasn't reading chat super closely. What do you mean? Are you bullying me? Am I missing something, or is Lapis just reskinned Felix? Within the story, no. Within just like the timeline of when I made the characters, yes. But I don't use reskin. She's more of like a remix because their stories are not exactly the same, but they have a lot of similarities because there were just like, I made Felix because I wanted to play with some very specific tropes. And then I spoiled Felix's story for all of the fellow players in my current Lapis campaign because I used her as an NPC in my home game that they're all players in. And so I'm like, okay, well, I still want to play with these very specific tropes. So what if I just made the same character but different? And then Jay was like, hey, what if we made her a lot different? And I was like, oh, okie dokie. And that's Lapis. So it's like they have a lot of similarities on the surface, but they still have a lot of differences as well. And the differences are where they shine. My sweet baby girls with problems. Baby girls with problems is just like most of my characters, let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves here. I get so caught up in talking about my OCs that I'm not actually drawing very much. I might not make as much progress today as I hoped I would, but it's fine, it's whatever. It's whatever. But yeah, like I said, I'm not sure when I'm gonna have time to start poking at that. I've kind of got an outline in my head, but as far as when it will be a thing that people can read, do not hold your breath. I might post like rough drafts of chapters, but I don't know, because there's part of me that's like, well, what if I post rough drafts of chapters and then I decide I don't like them and then I want to go back and change things, but people have already read the old drafts. So maybe I want to keep my drafts just for like me and a couple of like proofreaders. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, none of this is going to be an issue until I actually have time to make the thing, which, please hold. I was just talking in my journal last night that I feel super bad that because of all the moving and C2E2 and all the nonsense, I haven't touched the D&D video in like over a month at this point, and my goal was to get it done. I'm trying to get it done before my birthday, which is in June now. That's kind of my soft goal for it. And I'm just sitting here like, but I haven't been able to touch it, and I won't be able to touch it for a couple more weeks just because I'm too freaking busy with like everything. You ever take a short hiatus due to moving, and then it just throws off your entire routine, and you're suddenly like weeks behind on literally every single thing you have to do for work, and you're just scrambling, and during the time that you're scrambling, you're looking longingly at those large-scale projects that you really want to get done. And I'm like, D&D video, my darling, I know, baby, I'm gonna come back for you, I swear. But you just feel so guilty because you have no idea when you're gonna actually be able to do that, and it's a nightmare, and you just have too many things on your plate, and you just feel like that gif of the girl with too many pancakes. That's me, and all the pancakes are like projects that I really want to work on. God damn it. Very specific example. No, I think this is a universally applicable circumstance that I have outlined. Thanks. Basically, your girl does too much. And I'm really starting to feel it. And I'm just like, I feel like something has to give. But I don't want to go messing with my income pillars. Because I just moved. And it was expensive. Question, how do you format your scripts? I have a video that I posted, I think, a little over a year ago, that talks about my entire process of making comics from start to finish. It would be easiest if you just went back and watched that video, because that will actually show you in the video an example of how I format my stuff. That will show you all of the steps. So if that is a question, I recommend going and checking that out. Maybe one of the mods will post a link to my webcomics video, but... Oh, I guess that's another thing that I can talk about. So I have to like double check my schedule and make sure that there's nothing else in the way. But I'm thinking I might do another stream on probably Wednesday. Where, okay, do you guys remember, I think it was like right before my hiatus, I took a bunch of Q&A questions. I let you guys submit like questions via like a Google form. So my original plan was for that to be like a scripted and edited video, and that was going to be my video for April. I was just going to take a bunch of questions talking about like how to make comics and the business of webcomics and all that stuff, and I was going to answer them all in one video. Well, when I pitched that idea, Milanote reached out to me and they were like, hey, we want to sponsor another video. What are your plans for this month? And I was like, oh yeah, I was going to do this video that's like about that's like Q&As. And they were like, would you potentially want to do something a little bit more like project focused? And I'm like, okay, sure. Art style challenge then instead. So that's why I'm doing that for this month. But I still, you know, want to do the Q&As. But what I'm thinking would make it a lot easier, because I still also do want to do the C2E2 video next month, is I could potentially just do the Q&As on a stream and then edit down the stream VOD into like a more edited video. And then I could sick my editor on it so that I don't have to edit it myself, and then I could do 2 videos in May, which I would love to do because I've been a little bit having to put YouTube on the back burner recently, and I want to be posting more. So that might be a thing, and that might be Wednesday. And the thing is that I've got so many questions submitted to that form, so it could potentially be like a series. So I could do a fairly regular, like once a month Q&A stream, and then edit those down into like videos, and even also edit those into shorts, because I love recycling. Doing it on stream would be fun. Yeah, I like most of the questions are going to come straight from the Google form, but if we have time at the end and I get bored, I might also take questions from the audience. But I like doing it on the Google form because it's a little bit more organized, and I like it when things are organized because my brain is so scattered all the time. How was C2E2? C2E2 was awesome. C2E2 was, I'm not sure in terms of net profit, but it was my best con ever in terms of just raw sales. I shattered my freaking record for convention sales at C2E2, and it was, not gonna lie, pretty sick. I'm a little sad because I'm like, I severely underestimated the demand for stickers at this con, and I'm like, damn it, I could have made so many more sales if I had brought more stickers. But lesson learned. We will do better next time. And it also gave me an idea for another video that I'm probably going to do sometime in the future. I've wanted to do like a, here's how to do Artist Alley stuff for a while. But I feel like there's so many people who have already done videos on the same topic, and it's like, okay, well, how different would my advice be from all these other people? Would that actually be interesting and all that? And then while I was at C2E2, I actually came up with like, you know, what if I did a video that was just 100 tips for how to succeed at Artist Alley? And people on YouTube love numbered lists, so that might be the format that I go with. It might not be 100, it might be like 50, but we'll see. It depends on how many I can come up with easily. But yeah, don't know when that video's coming out. Some point in the future, eventually. Eventually. YouTube's got a little pop-up saying, now would be a good time to insert ads. No, YouTube. The reason I stream on you and not Twitch is because it makes it so that I don't have to have streams on live, or ads on my live streams. If I wanted ads on my live streams, I'd go back to Twitch. VOD Squad can watch ads. But live viewers, you guys don't have to watch ads. I'm not gonna make you guys watch ads because I love you. Because you're here for me. Kisses. Mm-hmm. Okay. Did I miss anywhere? Spots. I don't think so, which means now it is time for my usual screwing about with changing the colors of the shading. It's going to be easy because I actually already have my little shading thing over in the corner. Duck, thank you for the super chat. Hi Star, love your stuff. It's very positive and inspires me so much. I was wondering if you'd ever dealt with trolls or harasses online for whatever reason. Yes. Very much yes, I have. And honestly, my best advice for them, or for dealing with them, just do not give them the time of day. Just block and move on. Because there is nothing worse for someone... Boy, did you ask the right person. Yeah, I'm not going to go into it, but... it's hard. I definitely do acknowledge that it's hard. I've had some very targeted people over the last couple of months who are just very determined to get under my skin. But in my experience, past experience has taught me plenty that the worst / best thing you can do, the best thing you can do for yourself, and the thing that will piss them off most, is just not even give them the time of day. Just delete their comments and block them. Just delete them and move on. If there is a fire, you do not throw more into the fire. You do not give them any more. You do not interact. You do not give them the time of day. You do not get in a fight with them. You just block them so that they cannot leave any more comments on your stuff, and you just log off. And you just try and scrub that shit from your brain. Go watch some videos about little puppies or something. I am not the best at this, I will admit. Sometimes stuff really genuinely does get under my skin, and it takes a few days to like recover from it, but the thing about trolls and such, people who harass you online, is that they are using time that they could be using to make their own stuff that's super cool and rad. But instead of using their own time and abilities to make stuff that's super cool and rad, they're using that time to harass you. And considering that we have very limited time on this earth, the fact that you are using it to make something meaningful to you and potentially other people, you are using your time far better than any of them will. Because you are making something, and you are doing something, and all they are trying to do is bring you down because they cannot be bothered to actually be open and vulnerable and make something that matters. So, you're already doing great. If you are doing well enough that you have inspired people to try and drag you down, then that means you're doing the right thing. And you gotta just keep going in the right direction, you know? And yeah, just honestly, just block and move on. Because not getting any kind of reaction out of you will piss them off so much more than you trying to get into a fight and reason with them. So. I don't play those games. I don't play it. But yeah, a lot of times, like, in my experience, it's definitely, like, a jealousy thing. It's like, I see some of the hate comments that, like, a couple of specific people have left, and it's just like, okay, you are just... It is quite literally, like, jealousy at this point, and that's not even worth me acknowledging, because what am I going to do about that? Like, something I've heard is, it's far easier to destroy than create, and I think that's true here. They're mad that you're willing to put in your time and effort into something beautiful. Exactly. Exactly. It's like, it's so much easier to try and drag someone down than to actually make something meaningful. And point of order, if you have ever felt like you see someone who is succeeding and you hate that they're succeeding, maybe they make something that you don't like, or maybe they, what's the word? Maybe you just don't like them and you don't like seeing their successes. I think that happens to everybody, you know? It's like you see something that you don't like that's getting popular and you don't understand why it's so popular. And you just, instead of directing that energy to, you know, like trying to bring them down, make something that you would like. Take that energy and put it towards making something. And I'm not talking about just like making something to make that person feel bad. No. Make something that you want to make, because putting that energy out there in the world is such a better use of your time than trying to drag other people down to your level. There's a reason why the path to success is so hard. Yes, exactly. 100%. It's like, I've had people leave hate comments on, like, Cast Off and stuff just because they didn't like storytelling choices that I made, or they didn't like some of my characters. I talked about them on stream a bit here, but it's like, a lot of people... I have gotten comments on my YouTube stuff because people didn't like it. I've gotten comments on Cast Off because people didn't like it for whatever reason. And, you know, it's like, okay, not everybody has to like every single thing that I make. That's not what I'm trying to say. But, you know, if you don't like my videos, you're not going to see this message. But if you don't like something that I make something that you would like. Take that frustration and harness it towards actually making something meaningful, and you will feel so much better about yourself than if you had just spent all that time, like, in my comment section trying to make me feel bad. Because, spoiler alert, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. All you're doing is just, like, you're wasting your time. Like, leaving all these hate comments. Because I'm just gonna read it, and then I'm just gonna delete it and block you. Because I don't engage with that shit. I don't waste my time on it. And then we just move on. So rather than, you know, wasting your time doing that, make something meaningful that you want to see in the world. You know? That's a better use of your time. And I mean, like, if you... Listen, if you are someone... If you happen to be watching this, if you are someone who has ever left a hate comment on Castoff for whatever reason, or anything that I've ever made, I forgive you. Go make something that you would like. If you don't like storytelling choices that I have made, if you don't like that something that I have made, just go make something that you would like. Do not waste your time spamming me because I did something in my story that you don't like. Go make something that you would like. And put something good and positive out into the world. Okay? It's fine. You can do that. Because otherwise you're just wasting your time. You're not going to do anything to me. Anyway. Well said, thank you. You better clip this. That will be up to Leevely once they get access to this VOD. But yeah, I mean, probably. This has been a public service announcement. It really has been. Making a fan of your new VTuber now. Thank you. I appreciate it. I did, because people were asking, I did post full body references for the new outfit on, I posted them on Discord, but if you're not on Discord, I also posted them on Blueskis. You just might have to dig through a couple of posts. Okay, just because this is a control piece, I do feel like I want to do a little bit more detail than I usually do. We're gonna go hard on this one. My try-hard shading method. Just because. Just for funsies. Yeah, I'm really glad that people like the new model. I was worried because I know that, like, it's happened to me before. I have personally experienced this, where it's like a VTuber that you like gets a new model and you don't like it as much as the old one. And I was worried that people weren't going to like the new one as much. And they were going to stop watching streams or whatever. Or they would leave mean comments. But everyone's been really positive about it and I really appreciate it. Glad that people like the new one. I'd love to know what your Oshi mark is. Honestly, I don't know. Probably just the star emoji. Is that boring? I've never really thought about a lot of the stereotypical VTuber stuff is because I'm not like, okay, because like my thing is, you know, I am a VTuber, but I'm not super like deep into quote VTuber culture. I tried that once. It didn't really work well. I think I prefer this one. It's cute. The new one is cute. Thank you. Well, I loved it, so there's one. Thank you. She's not like other VTubers because she doesn't have time. Is basically what it is. What's up with the line down the nose? It's just more 3D. Because the last one was like, it was just like one shape that flipped back and forth. And so with the way I draw noses, it's a little complicated to like draw them from a front-facing view and not make it look a little bit Voldemort-esque. But it's just because like the line gets shorter as it's facing the center and then whoop, there. It's 3D. It's more three-dimensional. Star ain't like other YouTubers. She ain't a damn sell to most companies and is actually a decent human being. I appreciate it. Thank you. I do certainly do my best. I don't, I vet my sponsors. I don't take on just like any sponsorship email that comes to me. I only do sponsors for things that like services I actually would, you know, recommend to a friend. If I wouldn't recommend it to a friend, then I'm not gonna shill it on YouTube, you know? And I try to be accountable with that kind of stuff. I've gotten like a lot of potentially really lucrative sponsorship opportunities for services that I've never used, and I'm just like, I don't know if this really aligns with my vision. I don't know if this really aligns with my morals. Case in point, guess who finally got a BetterHelp sponsorship offer in her inbox like 3 days ago? And I posted a screenshot to all of my friends, and I was like, hissing and barking! And I was like, no! I'm gonna cross that off my bingo sheet, but no way in hell! Absolutely not! You know? It's like, man. Congratulations for this tragedy. Thank you! Let's hope you ain't graduating anytime soon. Nah. My thing is just like, I know a lot of VTubers will graduate and move on to other things because they just like aren't, usually you see it with like VTubers who are in big companies. And to be honest, like I have applied for the larger corporations before, but at this point, I'm kind of glad that I didn't get in because I really like this little community that I've ended up with. And I just think it's nice, and I like being able to do my own thing. Wish I had a little bit more help. Hiring the editor was a very good first step. Hi, Lily, I appreciate you, because I know you're going to be watching this later. But yeah, I am, another of my kind of soft goals for this year is to learn how to, like, better cut back on stuff so that I have more time to pursue things that make me happy. I'm DIYing therapy at the moment. It's like a whole thing, but just trying to find a good balance. Potentially like cut back on stuff that does not make me as happy. And I have the freedom to do that because I'm not attached, like I don't have like a big brand that I have to worry about. It's like, you know, I've got my public reputation and all that, but that's like, I'm not held to a standard of like how much I have to make. It's like all my stuff is self-inflicted. It's like I try to do a video every month, but there's not like executives and CEOs like glaring down my door to make sure that I commit that much. It's just me being like, this is the thing that I would like to do, and I would like to do it by this date. But it's just me. And by DIY, she's talking to me as I make her cry. Yeah, Sly keeps sending me, like, worksheets that she got in therapy, and then I read over them, and then they make me cry because I'm like, oh god, I have problems! Related to that Blue Sky post I made earlier today, where I was just talking about, like, I was doing some soul searching, and I'm like, because, you know, okay, so here, a little peek behind the curtain. That post on Blue Sky was talking kind of about, it was I'm not going to go into specifics of like what the incident was, because it's kind of personal, but I've talked about on stream how I'm like really nervous to make friends, and I was trying to think, is like, what exactly? I have to pinpoint where that's coming from, because that anxiety has to be coming from somewhere. But like I love my friends. So I don't know why I'm so scared of making new ones. What is my problem? What is my issue? And so I was just like, literally, like, I was taking a little power nap earlier today. And by nap, I mean laying in the bed and just like staring at the ceiling and not doing anything. Taking a little brain break, as it were. I'm just like, this has to come from somewhere. Where the fuck did this come from? What was like the pinpoint moment of that? And I realized, it's like, wait. This thing that happened a couple of years ago. I don't think I had this much anxiety around making friends before that incident. God damn it, I'm not over it! I thought I was over that shit, apparently I'm not. And now I'm just real pissed off about it, but the good news is that now that I know kind of what the origin point is, I have a better stance to attack it from. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's an improvement, because now I can, like, actually, you know, put words to that and use it to recover from it. The very, very long story short is that I haven't been really good at making friends for a long time. I've always been kind of shy and introverted. But the first time I like made my very own like friends that were not already friends with some of my other friends, I'm the type of person who I'll just like hitchhike on friend groups. The only reason I had friends in college was because my roommate Sarah just kind of adopted me and introduced me to all the friends that she had made. And then all those friends became my friends. And I was like, huzzah, friends. And I'm still friends with most of those people. And I love them very dearly. I adore them very much with all my heart. But I always felt like I had a hard time making friends myself, you know? And so then at some point, I was actually able to, I made a group of friends all by myself, and I felt really proud of myself. And then the long story short is that that friend group kind of like hideously betrayed me and tossed me aside. And I thought I was better, and I'm not. And I'm like, well, shit. I thought I was over it. But if we look at the data, I don't think I'm over it, because clearly it is still bothering me to the point that it is affecting my ability to make new friendships like half a decade later. But the good news is that now that I have pinpointed it, I have a better stance to attack it from, and I can be like, okay, if you're ever having anxiety about talking to new people, the stem of that anxiety is from this person that you don't like because they were a bitch to you. Fuck that person and make friends out of spite, because fuck that guy. You know? You're wonderful and a joy to know star all my friends I got through Jay. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. You are also a joy, Rose. Thank you. I appreciate friends who will not throw me out the instant I do not bow to their every whim. Appreciate that energy. But yeah, we love to DIY therapy. By like just laying in bed and thinking really hard about our problems. That's how I do it, baby. Let's go. It's because I haven't had time to find a therapist. And that shit's expensive too. Sorry about your friendship. Honestly, if that's the way they're gonna treat people, they weren't friends worth keeping. That's how I am choosing to look at it. It's like, if that is the way that you're going to treat people, then you were not friends worth keeping. So bite my ass. But yeah, basically, I was talking about that in mod chat earlier, and then Sly sent me one of her therapy worksheets, and it did make me cry. Because it was just like, oh god, this is too relatable. It's like, oh no! Therapy worksheet reading me for filth. But yeah, you know, the path to recovery, step one, is by acknowledging and sourcing the problem. Now that I've done that, we can move on and grow. And there's a cat on my porch! I think that's a neighbor's cat. I see it sometimes. It's orange. I don't know its name. It's kitty kitty. It's a cat on my porch. Something that really helps me is just turning on voice memos and record yourself ranting about whatever you're going through. I did something similar. That's actually one of the big reasons why I got so big into journaling this past year. Is just because just rambling in writing has been so helpful for like processing my thoughts and emotions. Is I just stream of consciousness, just let the thoughts flow. And sometimes I surprise myself with what comes out, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well, that's a thing that I need to work on. Let's think about that. And then, I have it in writing. And then I'm like, okay, well, now I have evidence that this is how the thoughts were working. Let's deal with that now. DIY therapy. But yes, welcome back to Star's first stream after a slightly extended hiatus. We're talking about deep shit. We're talking about the deep shit. Blah. Welcome to my chat where we talk about real shit. Ooh, YouTuber question. So many YouTubers say just start when it comes to making videos, but how do you get out of your own head and actually do the thing? For me, what happened, and this is what happened with my webcomic, this is what happened with my YouTube channel, this is what happened with, like, everything that I do. At some point, talking about the thing you want to do, delivery. Talking about the thing you want to do will get so irritating because you keep talking about this thing. It's like, yeah, this is the thing I want to do. This is a thing I want to do. But then you're not actually doing it. And then at some point, the frustration from not having that thing will overpower the procrastination. At least that's how it worked for me. That is how it worked out for me, because at some point it was just like, man, I have this idea for a comic that I sure would like to do. And I would, I'd talk about it to friends. I'd talk about it on, like, DeviantArt back when DeviantArt was good. And I'd, like, post art about it, and I'd do that. And then at some point I just got so frustrated that it didn't exist. That's just what broke down the barrier, and I finally started doing it. With YouTube, it was like, man, I sure would like to do a thing. I sure would like to make videos. I think it would be fun to make videos. And I was in that cycle for like 2 or 3 years before I finally went, God damn it, I just need to make the videos so that I can actually, like, do it. Productivity out of spite. Yeah, basically. I acknowledge that that's not something that's going to work for everyone, but that is what worked for me. Just at some point, the frustration takes over that you don't have the thing that you want to do. And then you let that push you forward to make the thing. So hopefully that helps. Your VTuber is so expressive. I wish I had that level of expressiveness. Maybe I need to get myself a bone dealer. Thank you! A big part of the expressiveness is that I have a different motion capture software now. I am using VBridger, and VBridger does, it lets you, like, at least with, like, the mouth and some of the facial tracking, is a little bit more expressive. Because there's just, like, more parameters. There's more stuff that it's searching for. So, like, a lot of the kind of minutia to the expressions is very much, like, stuff that can be done within VBridger, but not without it. But a big part of it is also just, like, having a bones dealer, a rig person who knows what they're doing and can help you out. Okay, we're almost done with this, and it's been an hour and a half. I thought this was going to take me like 30 minutes. Joke's on me, I guess. It's because I got so distracted just yapping. It's been so long since I just yapped properly on stream. I guess I missed it. I missed being able to yap. Because I spent several minutes yapping about, like, the novel that I want to write and all that jazz. Just talking about sillies. Why is there moving truck noises? I think it's just a delivery truck. Yapping is the best therapy. Truly is. Truly is. Actually, I think I'm going to make the background kind of a yellow. And then I can add the white outline that I love so much. There we go. So there's my control. Yippee. Why not make your novel a webcomic like you did with Cast Off? Follow-up question. Do you want me to die? But like, seriously, one of the main reasons that I'm looking into prose is because it takes so much time. It takes so much time and energy because not only do you have to write it, then you have to draw all that. And the drawing takes 10 times longer than the writing. I want to write and just write. And I can get a finished product out so much freaking faster. If I made 2 different webcomics, I would die. Now, see, the other thing. See, so like with the various D&D character novels that I'm thinking about doing, those don't need to be comics because I would argue those like don't rely on the visuals as heavily. They're actually, point of order, probably the final product will be illustrated novels because I still want to, you know, have some art in there, be able to like draw my characters in silly little situations because that's what I love doing. I love to draw a character in a silly little situation. But I don't want to have to draw every single panel of that silly situation, you know, which is where a novel comes in. But I do have other story ideas for stories that kind of need to be comics because they're like more comedy and like they're focused on the gags and the bit. It would be like trying to draw Garfield as a written work, like of prose. Wouldn't really work. It's like it's intended to be a comic, and that is why I've not started working on the vampire Twitch streamer rom-com story yet, because that one was incepted into my brain as a comic, and that one needs to be a comic. So I'm not gonna do that one any other way because it relies so heavily on the visuals, and like it's still in my brain. But a big reason I haven't started working on it is because I can't do 2 comics at the same time. I would die. I would die. I have some peers and like other people who work on multiple comics at the same time, but that's because the comics is all they do. It's like, okay, if I did not have a web store and a YouTube channel, in addition to all that other shit, I could, and like conventions and stuff, I could potentially do 2 webcomics. If I was making like 10K a month on Patreon and that was like all I did, that would be one thing. And maybe then I could make 2 comics at the same time. But I got too much shit to do. I got too much stuff. All right. And now we're moving on to this. Thumbnail for the video. So we're going to do this next. Why do you keep squeaking? Something on my desk is squeaking. It's driving me crazy. Who's squeaking? Is it you? Computer, are you squeaking? Something is squeaking. I'll deal with it later. Okay, no, that's actually driving me crazy. Where is that fucking squeaking coming from? Shut up. I think there's like a fan in my computer. Stop it. Or not. What is squeaking? Are you squeaking? Are you squeaking? What if I just jostle everything? That appears to have worked. Okay, cool. Is that a challenge about your Patreon? A community challenge where not just one person gets it up that high. Anyway, if you know, like, if one of my mods want to, there's Frankie with the Patreon. Frankie bot with the Patreon. But no, I mean, my thing is like, I've been just under 3K on Patreon for a long time. And it's one of those things where it's like, I would be able to more comfortably and easily work on like the stuff that makes me happy first and foremost. If I was earning more on Patreon, because Patreon is like consistent more so than a lot of my other stuff. And so, you know, I would love to be making a little bit more on Patreon. Just because like that consistent income, even if it fluctuates, that consistent income is like very meaningful. So just an advertisement in general. If there is an artist that you love and you want them to make more stuff and they have a Patreon, join their Patreon. I'm not even talking about just me. I'm talking about like artists in general. You would be amazed at how far just like $1 or $2 per month can go. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but have you guys ever watched the movie Bug's Life? Where it's just like, yeah, a whole bunch of small donations can really add up and help with that kind of stuff, you know? And also, honestly, I'm to the point where it's like, I love it when people join my mail club. I would love to have more like $2 and $5 patrons. Because the $2 and $5 stuff, that's easier for people to keep up with, especially when the economy is so crazy right now. Like, I love it when people join my mail club. I love it even more, honestly, when people just donate like $5 a month, $2, $5 a month. Like, even that little usually is fairly consistent. People can usually keep up with that for several months. And so, like, the big donations are extremely helpful, but a large amount of the smaller, like, transactions is always going to be more stable. And when you're trying to be an artist for a living, that stability is really important. You know? Next time on, Star explains economics with Pixar references. Exactly! But speaking of the Patreon, though, I have been starting to think that maybe I want to post more stuff on there. But, you know, it's going to be like, what if Jared? Jared! Thank you! Jared! Thank you for the $100 coffee donation, Jared. I appreciate it. My good golly goodness. I knew he was going to do something the second he said that. Thank you. Thank you. Genuinely thank you. But yeah, I'm a $5 patron and I get the mail clubs from the secret shop when they're ones I really want. It's nice and easy to keep up with, and now I have a big old cast off print corner. Yeah! See, because like I appreciate people who stay in the mail club, but I totally understand if you can't commit to that $15 every single month, which is why I offer like the kind of make your own, is like you can just buy the parts of the mail club that you want every month when you want them. And just keep it like on like a $2, a $5, like one of my lower tiers, on Patreon, because then it's a more stable thing for me and you can just get the mail clubs when you want them. Like I never want people to spend outside their means. And so I try to make it as easy as possible, to like for people to support the stuff that I make, while also getting the most bang for their buck, you know? One mistake I know a lot of my art friends make is focusing too much on big, pricey Patreon awards. I keep telling them that many small patrons can be better than trying to sell $40. 100%. 1000% yes. Here, legitimate advice if you are an artist. Giving people the option to join higher tiers for like a Patreon is all well and good. Make the option available for people, but do not rely on people joining those higher tiers. Like for example, so my middle tier is my $15 a month tier, and that's my mail club tier. I just last year added the option for like higher price tiers where you get a shout out at the end of my YouTube videos. And those are like, I think $20 and $35, and you get different stuff with them. But if one person joins that, then that's like $35 I'm making every single month. And that's awesome. That's amazing. That's like, how many? Like 7 $5 patrons, but it's all lumped into one, and that's incredible. What happens if that something changes and that person has to drop your Patreon? then suddenly you went from $35 a month to $0 a month from one person dropping their pledge. I personally would much rather have 7 people donating $5 a month than one person donating $35 a month, because then if those, like, it's much less likely that 7 people are going to simultaneously drop their pledges than one person dropping a larger pledge. I love and appreciate every single one of my patrons, but people's economic situations change. And smaller donations can be a lot more stable in the long run. So if you are an artist and you are thinking about starting a Patreon, focus on the small stuff. A lot of the small stuff adds up, significantly so. And it's a lot more stable to have a lot of people on your smaller tiers than 1 or 2 people on your bigger ones. You know? And that's also just Star talking about economics. Part of me is, I get on these tangents because I genuinely find it interesting. Another part of it is I have to find it interesting because it's how I stay afloat. So, yippee. Somebody hire me to teach an economics for artists class. I will do it. I will do it. A little goes a long way. Genuinely, it does. And I feel like people think they'll like look at an artist and be like, oh, $1 a month does not make a difference. And so they just don't do it. But it does. It genuinely does. If you throw $1 at 3, just pick your top 3 favorite artists and throw $1 at them a month, you would be amazed at how much of a difference that can make. Genuinely so. Maybe this is a future video idea. Because my thing is, like, I'm not an accountant or anything. I just, I've done this for long enough that it is my world, And I just, it's important. It is genuinely important that artists have some amount of financial literacy. Because if you're trying to do this for a living, you have to know how to do it, or else you will have a bad time if you don't know how to manage your finances. And I hate to sound like a freaking YouTube finance bro, but that is the truth. It's kind of a shame and annoying that I had to learn this all on my own, that this was not something I was taught in art school, and I've seen the sentiment in a lot of places that art school should absolutely have classes to teach artists about financial literacy, and I'm like, yeah, we need to do that, because I just had to figure this shit out all on my own. I did a lot of research, and a lot of it was just like, figured out through my own learned experience from just existing in this field. But think about how much further I could be right now if this was stuff I was taught in school. It's important. If you're going to run a business, you need to know how to run a business, And it is genuinely something that I care very much about, and I think that is one reason why I've been able to be at least decently successful at this, is because I have the mindset for the business. It's like, yes, I do still care very much about my creative exploits and things that I want to do. And I focused on the business to the point that I could do the stuff that I wanted to and still make a living that way. That was important to me. And so, sometimes you have to eat your veggies, you have to eat your vegetables along with your desserts. In this case, the desserts is, drawing the art that you want to draw. But if you want this to be your job, you have to treat it like a job. And part of that is having the financial literacy to know about the decisions that you're making and where you're choosing to place your focus. Hearing about this stuff is genuinely so helpful because as artists, we aren't taught this when we seek formal education. Exactly. And it's annoying and frustrating that I had to learn a lot of this on my own, Would love to hear you just talk about finances as a self-employed artist. I did an income breakdown video a couple years ago that is now severely out of date. And I've been considering making a new one. And maybe I can wrap it up with like, mix it with like a, hey, basic financials for artists, but it's like, almost like, I feel like those would need to be 2 separate videos. But yeah, business numbers. It's tricky, and like, I feel like a lot of people who are artists, they don't like to do it, and so they actively avoid it. And I feel like, okay, well, yeah, you can ignore this thing, but at the same time, if you want to do this as a living, it's something it's kind of an unavoidable truth that it is something you do have to focus on. You know? Because I keep saying it, but it's like, if you want to do this as a job, you have to treat it like a job. And sometimes that means doing stuff that's not fun, like doing all the admin work and doing your taxes and looking up like how to do business and marketing and stuff. And I know it's frustrating, and I know that you wouldn't want to do it, but genuine advice for people who want to do art as a living, if you want to do freelance, if you want to do what I do, you have to focus on the business stuff. You have to, or you will drown in not knowing what you're doing. And I feel like you cannot succeed at this if you do not have at least a passing understanding of how business works. Rant. But yes. I keep forgetting that Star is close to 200k subs. I'm on that creep. I'm on that 200k creep. I'm hoping to hit that before my birthday, which is mid-June. I usually on average gain about 1,000 subs a week. Assuming that I don't have a video that's popping off or anything. So I'm hoping that the art style challenge video does well, because I loved making my Pokemon video. It did not perform well. And honestly, I wasn't really expecting it to. But, yeah, so I'm like, I hope the art style challenge video does well. Because it's also, the art style challenge is also kind of a test to see if doing just like general art videos will still get people to watch them. I talked about on a previous stream how I'm kind of having a little bit of a channel-related identity crisis, where it's just like, I've kind of done a lot of various things, but will my audience keep watching if I kind of transition more into doing like mostly art-related things, you know? So yeah, it's gonna be kind of a test. To see how well people respond to me just like doing some general art videos instead of like the kind of stuff that I've been doing. Cause I talked about this on Blue Sky a while back, where I like doing tutorials. I like doing videos where I like kind of, you know, help people out with a topic, especially for like webcomics and writing and stuff, because that is genuinely stuff that I really do enjoy talking about. But I don't want to be known just for doing tutorials. I feel like if you get stuck in the tutorial niche, people don't care about you or the stuff that you make. They just care about the knowledge that you can give people. And I don't want to be worked so deep in that niche that people only care about the advice I have to offer and not the stuff that I make. You know? Does that make sense? I love teaching. I love helping people like figure out their stories. But I want to have my own identity outside of that. I'm not going to stop doing like help videos, but it's kind of why I do my tutorial videos the way I do. It's like it's a learn by watching me type of thing. And so it's like, here's how I personally tackle this thing, and maybe you can learn something from it, because I am a person with an identity and this is the kind of work that I make. And not just, here's how to do this thing. I'm a person who does this, and you will never learn anything else about me because you're only here to watch this one specific tutorial. You know? And I fear the latter. Because like I am not immune to doing an occasional ego search, chat. I do like look myself up on social media occasionally, and I've already started seeing people call me a tutorial channel. I've seen people call me an advice channel. And that kind of scares me because I don't think of myself as a tutorial channel. I think of myself as, you know, an artist and a storyteller who like teaches how to do things because I have the knowledge and I've learned it myself, you know? And I still want to have my own identity aside from just being a teacher. I love teaching, but it's not all I do. The learn by watching me is really helpful for me. It's nice to see how someone approaches a problem while leaving it open to interpretation. Yeah, that's my goal. That's kind of what I try to do. Because especially with something so nebulous as like crafting a story, I feel like there's so many different ways to go about it that just like a step-by-step guide for how to write a good story, it's not really gonna work because storytelling is so subjective and every single thing is different. Like, writing a story is very different from solving a math problem, you know? Solving a math problem, there is a definite right answer, but writing a story, there really isn't. And so you can't approach the you can't approach teaching those two things in the same way because they're very different fundamentally, you know? In my experience with you, the advice you give is super helpful, but I've stuck around because of the stories and the art. I am glad. I am glad for both of those things. I started following your channel because of your art and characters. I'll definitely stick around if you do more art. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here. But yeah, you know, I talked about this on a previous stream, but it's like, I'm kind of going through a little bit of an identity crisis. I'm gonna be throwing some metaphorical spaghetti at the wall for a bit. So I appreciate you guys for sticking around. And kind of joining me on this little journey of trying to figure out what I want to do. To that point, I'm rewinding a little bit. Because Sly just sent me a DM, and I saw you trying to get my attention, but I didn't know what your question was. That you kept mentioning it because, like, I did not see any of the people who were asking this question. What if you feel you genuinely don't have anything to offer for any /lower membership tiers? First of all, you do. So we're rewinding and we're talking about Patreon. I was the one asking. Okay, yeah, because I just saw you saying question, and then you did not ask the question, so I didn't know what you were talking about, so I skipped over it. I'm sorry. We're rewinding back to the Patreon discussion because I did actually have more things that I wanted to talk about. I can only talk from the perspective of someone who makes a webcomic because that is what I am familiar with. So if you do not make a webcomic, this might not be super helpful for you. But in my experience for Patreon, this is what I do. If you are making a comic, I highly recommend, and I think this is actually true for like anyone who's making a Patreon, honestly. Byproducts of the things that you make are always going to be the easiest and most effective things for a Patreon. So I will give you guys an example. I make a webcomic, okay? I post 2 pages a week on average, usually. I'm on a pseudo hiatus right now just because I'm trying to build my buffer back up because moving killed it. I have a page that's got to go up on Friday for patrons, and I haven't even inked it yet. So please hold. And so what I do is for the most part, for my lower tiers, I don't do any extra work, really. So for my $2 and $5 tiers on Patreon, that's just y'all get access to the stuff I post. And what do I post? I post early access for webcomics and also for YouTube videos. Early access to stuff that you're posting is extremely easy to do. Just post it on Patreon a couple days early. That's what I do. For Castoff's Patreon, because my buffer is generally pretty big, my patrons get to read pages a whole month in advance. And it's the $5 tier, the number of patrons on my $5 tiers will increase dramatically whenever I have a big cliffhanger in the comic, which is why I'm always advertising the Patreon in the description of the comic whenever there's some kind of big cliffhanger, because I'm like, hey, jingle jingle, if you give me $5, you can read the next 8 pages right now and not be stuck on this cliffhanger. The trick is that you'll usually then get stuck in a different cliffhanger, and there's no cure for that one. But by that point, you're ahead and you want to be, and so that's my evil plan. That's how I get you. That's how I get you. Early pages. It's no extra work. It's literally just withholding pages from the public for a little bit longer and posting them for patrons early. So that's no extra work. What I also do for my $5 patrons is like, hey, you're seeing stuff early, but also I'm gonna give you a little extra bonus. But that extra bonus takes 2 minutes of work for me, because what I do is I take screenshots of the page's work in progress. I don't delete my sketch layers or anything, and so what I do is I just go through and I hide all the I'll show you guys. I will show you. I will show you an example of what I'm talking about. JPEGs, work in progress shots. So for the page that just went up on the website, there you go. I post this, an image like this, for every single page of the comic if you join my Patreon. We have thumbnails, sketch, line art, flats, first rendering, final rendering. And I post a little graphic like this for every single page that I post on Patreon. So not only are you getting early pages and high-res pages, you are also getting work in progress shots for every single page that I post. And this takes about 2 minutes to put together, because I literally just like go back and I hide all the layers that I don't want to see. And so like for this one, I'll just turn on the thumbnails layer, and then I'll hide it and I'll turn on the sketch layer, take another screenshot, and then I'll hide that and turn on the inks layer and take another screenshot, and then I turn on the flats layer and take another screenshot, and then I just compile them all together. It takes 2 minutes. It's no extra content. It's just putting together an extra image, and it takes about 2 minutes per post. And I just dunk this in there along with my comic pages when I post them. So for $5 a month, you are getting early pages, you are getting high-res pages, which is another really early thing. And then you're also getting these. It's not extra work for me. It's byproducts of the work that I am already doing. Another thing for Patreon for me is that I often will just like post little blogs for patrons only. That's just like talking about stuff that I've been working on. I usually right now I've been doing like mail club blogs. And so whenever I do a mail club is after I've sent out the mail clubs for that month, I'll make a little blog post that's available to all patrons on every tier. And I'll say, hey, this is kind of my thought process for how I put together this month's mail club. And I mean, you know, if you don't have a mail club, that's not super applicable, but you can also do this for like other illustration work, stuff in your comic. You can show like screenshots of your works in progress. You can show like your process of writing and scripting and drafting. You can do all kinds of stuff, just little bonus behind the curtain stuff that's not actually making anything new. You can do a lot with very little, you know? It's all about, I keep talking to you guys about the importance of recycling. This is that. When you make the mail club polls, do you make the options, things you wanted to do anyway? Yes, yes, 100% yes. When I make the mail club polls, I usually give 4 options for different themes that I want to draw for that month. But I'd be happy doing any of those themes because it's stuff I wanted to draw anyway. And so it's like, it doesn't matter which one the patrons choose. I'm just letting them choose their destiny a little bit, but their destiny was always going to be predetermined because I am the one who chooses what gets to be in the poll, because that's just like, okay, this is just kind of stuff that I'm feeling. Help me vote on a topic. I'd be happy doing any one of these, but you guys get to help me pick which one specifically I do next. You can do a lot. One of my friends makes game assets and releases them for early access on his Ko-fi, as well as concept art and previews of future stuff. Exactly. Like so much of stuff for Patreon, I feel like people overthink it and think you have to make a bunch of new stuff for Patreon. But honestly, my best advice is the best Patreon rewards are byproducts of things that you are already doing. High res files is like high res, like, you know, JPEGs, PNG, finished files of any like really intense illustrations that you do. Layered files so that people can like go through and look at your stuff and see how you did certain effects and things. If you make custom brushes, put your brushes on Patreon so that your patrons can download them and see what you do and see how you use stuff. Patreon is just a pile of your half-finished work? No, because I do post other things on there as well. And actually, but it's like, saying it like that makes it sound like, you know, very bleh. People are interested in the process. People like to see, like, this phrase got used earlier. People want to see how the sausage gets made. And this is stuff that, like, this is the sausage factory. Maybe don't call it that. But, like, seeing, it's like how people really like to see, you know, storyboard cuts of movies and, like, DVD bonus features. It's interesting. The process is interesting to people. And if you give people the chance to see that process, then yeah, they might throw like a couple bucks at you, you know? People are interested in how things get made. That's why How It's Made is so popular. If you just look at the show How It's Made and say, oh, so it's just a pile of unfinished things? No. It's showing you how the finished things get to that point. That's what's interesting. My Patreon is the show How It's Made. But for my comic, right? How the pastry is made. I like that because it doesn't have weird implications. How the pastry is made. I like that. Have you thought about posting the drawings that flopped by the time you were done with it? I mean, I post everything is the thing. Even the drawings that I'm not super happy with, I post them anyway. Because people who might like them anyway. Just because I don't like a finished drawing doesn't mean that other people won't. So even if it's a drawing that I'm not 100% satisfied with, I still post it. If it's finished, I still post it. And even if I don't finish it, I usually finish pretty much everything I draw just because I've maximized my speed and effectiveness. So basically most of my drawings I can do in one sitting, like 1 or 2 sittings. I post it anyway. There have been like plenty of comic pages that by the time I was finished with them, I kind of hated them. But I mean, you know, as long as I get the point across, then that's the important bit. There have been plenty of Mail Club illustrations that I don't especially love. And by the time I was done with them, I'm just like, this is just kind of okay. And I post them to Patreon and everybody loves them. Because it's not about if I like it or not. It's like, yeah, okay, you know, there's going to be some illustrations that I like better than others. But, you know, I put the work into it. And some people are going to like certain things. And in general, people don't have all the baggage associated with a drawing that you do because you made it. Your audience is just going to see the finished product. They're not going to see all of the time and blood and sweat and tears that you put into it, for better or worse. And so they're not seeing all the baggage that comes with it. And this is why I always tell people to not self-deprecate, is like, don't talk about all of the like bad thoughts that were going through your head while you were making a piece. Just post it and let people come to their own conclusions about it, you know? I love seeing boards because it shows me the early steps to the polished product, because it's always done with skill, even if it's rough. Exactly. I've joined a lot of people's Patreons just so I can study how they do things, because I find that interesting and I want to see like how other people do it. I joined someone's Patreon recently just because I was like, I kind of want to see how you do stuff. I kind of want to see what's going on back there. And I would say that's worth my money, because I'm not only supporting an artist, I'm getting to learn a little bit more from my own process, you know? Before you're large enough to justify starting a Patreon, what would you do to allow people to support you? Coffee tip jar. Coffee tip jar. Because there's no like monthly requirement. People can just throw money at you once and be done with it. Patreon kind of requires a subscription. Although now Patreon is doing a thing where it's like you can pay for individual posts, and I still kind of have to come to terms with how I feel about that. Not sure how I would use that. Potentially. I might make like coloring pages out of old Mail Club illustrations, and I might make that like a pay per post thing on Patreon, but I'm not sure. Another thing I've considered doing for Patreon, this is just like a recent new thought, is I post like all of my sketchbook pages to Blue Sky, but I might start posting them to Patreon as well, and also withholding certain stuff from Blue Sky and posting it to Patreon only until like sketchbook tours are up. But that's the thought. So, hey, guys, at the start of the stream, when I talked about how I'm kind of brainstorming a novel for, like, Lapis and Zephyr, I've been doing a lot of sketchbook doodles about that. Would, like, every couple of days posting some sketchbook pages that are kind of, like, relevant to that story, where it's like, I don't really necessarily want to post these publicly because they're, like, maybe a little bit spoilery, but I could post them on Patreon. If that is something that you guys would be interested in, let me know, because I've been considering... I want to post more stuff for my $2 patrons. Because right now they don't get a whole lot, and I would like to have more stuff on the Patreon for the $2 patrons. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna rapid fire a couple of these. What would you suggest a new comic artist post on? I hate Webtoon, but Webtoon is honestly not a terrible place. Tapas as well. Webtoon, Tapas, Comic Fury. They all each have their own different cultures. Do not become a slave to Webtoon. But Webtoon does have the largest audience, and so I would still recommend posting your stuff there. Highly recommend getting your own website once you feel like you can justify it. But if you're just starting, using one of those 3 platforms is probably going to be your best bet. I really want to know how to write scripts for comics. I'm interested in writing scripts for my OCs. I have several videos that talk about writing. I would suggest checking those out. I also have a video specifically for, like, how I do comics, and I do cover scripting in that as well. Have you played Fields of Mystria? I've played probably over 100 hours of Fields of Mystria at this point. I want Hayden to smooch me and carry me over the threshold of our new home. I think Cast Off would be a good coloring book. I think I need to go and make, like, some of the old Mail Club illustrations coloring book pages, because I think that would be fun. I would love a Cast Off coloring book. Yeah, I need to write that down, and I need to remember to do that. It's just I keep forgetting. But I think that I might do that for my $2 patrons. Is, like, post coloring book pages, and then also maybe, like, layered files for Mail Club illustrations and occasionally for comic pages. And then also maybe, like, sketchbook stuff. More sketchbook stuff. I'm considering it. Cast Off chibis for a coloring book would be cute. Yeah. Maybe. Coloring your D&D characters would also be cool. I'd consider it. Another thing I've been thinking about doing is, like, potentially making, like, print resolution of the Mail Club illustrations available so people can print them themselves if they want. But I kind of feel like I don't want print-ready files of my artwork to be that out there, you know? Pacific Productions, thank you for the super chat. I would join more membership stuff from other creators to see how they make their tiers, but also it gets expensive. Yeah, I usually just do, like, the lower tiers just to throw, like, a little bit of support. I'm very mindful of, like, a maximum of how much I'm really able to put into that every month. But, you know, I do also occasionally shift my support around a little bit. Like, I'll pledge for a couple of months just to be like, hey, I like your stuff. I kind of want to see what you're working on. And then once I feel like I've done enough, I will dip. But yeah, you know, just supporting people is good. Supporting and learning at the same time, simultaneously. Join people's Patreons. It's good for you. It's healthy. It builds character. You mentioned where to start for people making comics, but do you have any advice? Where would people start making a book? If anyone has advice for that, I sure would like to know also. Because that is my current thing, is like, whoa, what was that? Was that a comic page? Oopsie doodles. Don't look at that just yet. It's like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna be working on this Lapis and Zephyr novel that I've been calling, in my head, I've been calling it the Azure novel for a couple of reasons. Like, the working title, I do not know if this will stick, but the working title in my head as of right now that I've been kind of mentally calling it is A Glint of Azure. There's a couple different reasons for that title that I'm not going to go into just yet. I don't know if that title will stick. That's just kind of what I've been calling it in my head. But, you know, I want to start working on that at some point, and I don't know where to post it. It's like, I've seen people post original prose on AO3. Should I post it on AO3? I don't know how AO3 works. I don't have an account. I don't read fanfiction. I I don't know how it works. Is Wattpad a thing? I know that Tapas lets you do web novels. I don't know anything about the space. I just want to write a little story. I just want to write a little book. But I don't know, listen, I've been making webcomics. I know what the webcomic space is like. I don't know shit about doing novels. I ain't got no idea what that's about. I've been using Unveil to post, like, my practice short stories, but for anything longer, I don't know if Unveil is the best choice for that. Make it into a real book. That is the goal someday, but I don't know how long that's gonna take, so I would like to, you know, share my progress and such. Shouts VR, thank you for the super chat. Feeling sad right now. I just want to make someone happy and joy. Oh, thank you so much. I'm sad I'm sorry you're feeling down. Welcome to stream. So everybody say something nice. But yeah, we're just chilling here. We're chilling and drawing and having a good time. You are welcome to join us. So, yippee-ki-yay. Scribble Hub. That's the site a bunch of writers in one server I'm in use that site, so it sounds like a good thing to look into. I've never heard of that one, but I will look into it. But yeah, I'm already, like... I'm kind of in good with folks on Tapas now, just because, you know, Castoff is, it's not like an official licensed story on Tapas, but I do have, like, people on Tapas that I talk to. They're, like, my pseudo-managers, just because I'm in the income share program. I don't talk to them super often, but I have, like, a Slack channel where I can get their attention if I need to. So I almost feel like I kind of want to try Wattpad's, like, novel posting thing, but I've never used it, so I don't have no idea if it's any good. Shrug. I might try that. But that, and I feel like I have to... I really gotta make it good, and I gotta set it up, and I'd worry about, like, posting drafts there of stuff that's not, like, fully finished, because what if I change my mind, and what if I want to do something else, and then, like, I've already got a draft out there, and then I have to go back and change it, and it's just awkward, and so it's like, this is all new for me, I'm just still kind of exploring it, but I'm just gonna experiment, and you guys are gonna come along with me. Puts you in my little pouch, and takes you with me on an adventure. Puts you guys in my little pocket, in my little pouch, down there. I'm gonna put you guys in there and you guys are gonna come with me on an adventure. You guys are in the pouch. Putting you in it. Now you have to show them the toggle? Absolutely not. No. Absolutely not. Not the pouch, we know who's in there. Yeah, now you have to fight the secret pouch demon. Have you guys ever heard of the Bag Man? It's like D&D lore that, like, all bags of holding are connected and there's, like, a monster in there. I have my own version of that. And his name is Dick Butt. I'm not gonna show him. No, it's inappropriate. I'll get demonetized. But you guys are in my pouch, and now you have to fight the Bag Man. By the Bag Man, I mean Dick Butt. Chat, when I tell you the visceral reaction that I had when Sarah said, hey, I put another toggle on your VTuber, by the way, so you'll see it when you go in there to set up the model. And I was like, wait, what the fuck did you add that I didn't ask for? And I went in there and I went to, like, the list, the drop-down list of addable, what is it? Like, addable hotkeys, that's what I was looking for. Like, addable hotkeys. And I just saw one labeled Dick Butt. And I just... The visceral response I had to that. I was just like, Sarah, what the fuck is this? What the fuck have you done to my baby girl? What the fuck have you done? There is a creature in my little belt pouch, Sarah. What have you done? And she was just like, I got you a friend! I'm just like, Sarah! You are a nightmare person. Pacific Productions, thank you for the super chat. I do not consent to being in pouch. Help. Oh, nope, sorry, too bad. You're in there now. I already put all chat in my belt pouch. I'm sorry. I can't take you out until the stream is over. That's just how it works. I'm sorry. You're just you live there now. It's like that picture of the dog inside the car, and there's a sign on the window that says, "Do not break window. The air is on and he is listening to his favorite music." That's you guys. Do not let them out of the pouch. They have snacks, and they get to watch my streams. Just picks you guys up and puts you in my pouch. You guys live there now. Why are you worried about getting out of the pouch? You don't need to. Just stay in the pouch. It's fine. It's good. It's nice in there. I made it nice for you, chat. I made the pouch nice. Just for you. Why do you want to leave? Don't leave my pouch. Sounds like I'm making it sound like I'm a kangaroo or something. This is my pouch where I store my chat. This is where they live now. They live in there. No, let me out. I have classes. No, you don't. Not anymore. The only classes you have now is pouch class. Class for being in the pouch. What about bathroom? Yeah, there's a bathroom in there. Listen, it's like a pocket dimension. There's a whole bunch of stuff in the pouch. There's like a whole like secret little house in the pouch. It's my pouch house, and you live in there now. All of you. Just hang out in the pouch house. It's fine. What about my cats? They're also in the pouch. Did I stutter? We're building a whole town on the pouch now. Yeah, it's my secret pocket dimension in my pocket of my pouch. Does that mean I can build a new house in the pouch? Yes. Do you guys remember a couple months ago when I was joking about starting a company town? The company town is actually in the little pocket dimension in the pouch on my belt. Welcome to Startown. You all live here now. Live out your dreams in Star Pouch. It's portable. Oh, Molly. Wow, wow. 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 Will I be able to see my family on the weekends, or are they also in the pouch? If you want to see them, they also have to get in the pouch, unfortunately. You can't, once you're in the pouch, you can't leave. It's like the Hotel California. Hotel Pouchifornia. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave, etc., etc. By the way, just point of order, that song is on Laz's playlist. And I do think it's very funny. Because you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. It works surprisingly well for my poor baby. And their whole backstory. Star, give us sand. We need a beach in the pouch. You just want sand. You don't want water. Usually you need both of those things for a beach. But I mean, I can just pour some sand in there for you. I can just go to the Ren Fair and get all the freaking sand from the Ren Fair. Speaking of, guys, I went to the Ren Fair for the first time this past weekend. Your girl had never been to the Ren Fair, but I finally went this past weekend. And I drew some silly little doodles and I posted about it on Blueskis. I went to the Ren Fair and I bought a little outfit. I want to find a way to share my little outfit, but I don't want to post my face online. But I have a cute little Ren Fair outfit right now, and it's extremely cute, and it's purple. And I sent it to my friends, and they can tell you for sure that it was definitely very cute. Friends in chat, can you confirm that my Ren Fair fit is cute? Totally not me fishing for compliments. Tell me that my Ren Fair outfit was cute. Tell me that my outfit was cute. It was cute, right? I showed it to some of you guys. You guys confirmed it's cute? Purple? Your outfit was darling. Thank you, Sly! See, it was cute. It was cute because Sly said so. It was very cute. Yeah, Jay also said so. Ha 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 ha. I have a cute fit. Orpal. It was Orpal. It's true. Purple Ren fit. Even more shirt girl energy. What the fuck does that mean? It's not short girl energy! It's cute! I'll kill you. Fucking asshole. See what I have to put up with? See what I have to put up with, chat? You see this shit? See this shit that I have to put up with? Fucking. Okay, well, on the positive, I got significantly less distracted while doing the thumbnail, so this is actually going much faster than the last one. Which is good, because if I can finish my thumbnail, I'm not gonna finish it on stream because I have to go back and, like, add a bunch of stuff to it. But getting at least this part done will be good. Making progress. So I can hopefully get my video done on time. That's my song. I hope you guys liked it. I spent a lot of time on it. I spent many, many years taking, like, music theory, learning how to make the perfect song, and then singing it on stream just now for you guys. Did you like it? Did you like it? You better say yes, or I'm gonna put a bunch of alligators in the pouch. I'm gonna put a bunch of alligators in the pouch if you don't say that you liked my song. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. You guys have been spared from gators for now. You all have been spared from the couch or the pouch gators for now. But I'm watching you, chat. I'm watching you. God, what is this persona I'm coming up with? It's just like, made a company town, I keep people in my pouch. I threaten them with alligators if they don't do what I say. This is just my new stream persona. I hope you guys like it. If you say that you don't, I will feed you to the pouch gators. Lore, lore, lore! Yeah, I have to do I have my horror toggle. If you say that you don't like my outfit, I'm gonna throw you to the fucking porch gators. Pouch gators. The alligators. I'm gonna put alligators in the pouch where all of you guys live. And then you'll have to deal with it. You don't want that, right, chat? I let you live in Startown, but you have to be nice to me. Or else I'm gonna put gators in there. I'm gonna put gators in there. The Royal Startown Gators. Ah! Okay. Oops. We created a union? Oh yeah? Well, here's what I think of your union. Alligators! No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I've actually said, like, I've kind of mused on this in the past that, if I ever just get into a position where I'm able to hire a bunch of my friends, I would want my friends to have a union. Because it's like, you know, I would never want them to need to exercise their right to have a union because I don't want to be an asshole boss to my friends who work for me. But I keep thinking, it's like, if I was ever in a position where I was able to employ a lot of my friends, I would want them to have a union so that I don't end up being some asshole to them. And putting gators in their houses because they didn't do what I wanted them to. The Miss Mayor, the gators have unionized? Oh shit! There goes all my plans! My gator plans! Now the gators have also unionized? Shit! We tamed the gators, they're on our side now? No! My Startown unionized gators! Oh man. I love a bit. I love committing to a bit on stream. Builds character, quite literally. I'm almost done with stream, but the sun is still up. My god, I forgot that the world could be like this. I forgot that sometimes there's daylight at like 7 p.m. Incredible. Ah! I don't think we're gonna get to comic pages today. But at the very least, I will get most of this thumbnail done. And then I will finally actually be done with all the art for my next video, which is good. Which is good that I like that. I like when there is sun. I enjoy it. Controversial opinion. I like when there is sun outside. Oh my god. When post for next video? Ideally Friday. I'm aiming for Friday. If not Friday, ideally Monday of next week. Gonna depend on how quickly I can put it all together. I'm done with the rough draft of the script. But I need to go through and do some edits and such. So yeah. Hey chat, guess what? Hey chat, guess what? Look at me, look at me. Eyes on me for a sec. Hey guys, check it out. Dude, watch this, watch this. Ears. Ears. Ear wiggles. What I said on last stream, I'm not exaggerating. I love playing with the ear wiggle so much that I will just sit here and do the ear wiggle like all day. The only reason I don't do it more is because scrunching and squishing my face like that kind of makes my forehead hurt. But it brings me joy. Wiggles. Wiggles. Okay, let's see. Drawing. Oh. SvVwvky, thank you for the super chat. Gonna hop off. I enjoyed stopping by it with Serene. Oh, thank you. I hope you enjoyed. Have fun with whatever else you're planning on doing. Yippee. Whoa! Purple. Entering my grimace era unintentionally. Oops. Orple. Are VTuber rigs advanced enough to raise one eyebrow? And if so, can yours? Mine should be able to. The unfortunate reality is that I, as a human, am not capable of moving my eyebrows independently. And it is one of my greatest flaws. I am legitimately so upset that I can't. I have been permanently denied DreamWorks face. Maybe, I wonder if I could, like, literally trying to move my eyebrows with my hands and it's not working. Ah. My brother can do the eyebrows independently. And I get so mad whenever he flaunts it in front of me. Like, oh my god, shut up. You know it's the one thing that I want and can never have. Ah! Live star reaction. If you're in my Discord or follow me on Blue Sky, you saw me post that yesterday and it still makes me laugh. Gives me the giggles. I posted a bunch of PNGs of new VTuber yesterday, and I was just like, you all have my permission to put her in a situation. I think it's funny because like I kind of think of my VTuber as like a separate entity, but also the VTuber is me. Which is just kind of like, you know, a little weird, whatever. It's like, she's a character, but also she's a representation of myself. Put her in a situation. Guards! Put that blonde man in a situation. Put that Blorbo in a situation. God, listen, I know that Tumblr is well past its prime now, but I am never escaping the allure of just like silly Tumblr speak. It makes me giggle. There was one, I follow the Somnium Files tag on Tumblr, and so sometimes I'll get posts that just kind of like pop up. And there was one from the other day that made me giggle, where it's like, you think that you're safe, you think that you're fine, and then suddenly the blonde man again. And I'm like, yeah. What kind of situation? A gay situation or a situation situation? A situation. Put them in a situation. Here's how you write it. Here, perfect advice for making a story. Make a Blorbo, put him in a situation. Go. But I just love when they get specific with it without actually being specific. But it's like, put that blonde man in a situation. I'm like, heh, this springs to mind like 3 or 4 different characters for me. Put them in a situation, said with the same attitude of, put them in the stocks. It's so funny. There's just something so that tickles me about just saying stuff like that. It makes me giggle. It brings me joy. Put the blonde man in a situation. Do it, do it, do it. I have a blonde man in a situation. Hi, Zara. How's that holding out for you, buddy? Are we doing all right? And he just gives me like this haunted fucking stare. And I just put on my sunglasses, I do thumbs up, and I walk backwards into a bush. I've always wondered how I would look blonde. But it's scary. I've only ever dyed my hair twice. I dyed my hair black when I was a freshman in college because I was too cheap to buy a wig for my Azula cosplay. And we did it with temporary dye so it would wash out and I could still donate my hair. Because there's a fun fact for you guys is that I grow my hair out and then I chop it off and I donate it because my hair grows really fast. And so like once a year I can donate like 8 inches of hair to like, Locks of Love is not the company that my barber does donations for anymore because we found out that Locks of Love makes people buy wigs. It's not like charitable donations. So we're like, hey, that's not cool. So I know she gives it to someone else, but I can't remember the name of the organization she does anymore. But yeah, I grow my hair out and I donate it. So fun fact. Fun fact that I don't know if I've ever talked about anywhere. But my hair is really, really thick and it grows really fast. And so usually I'll meet the minimums to donate like once a year. And so I just grow my hair out really long and then I chop it off. It's the annual, it's more like it's more like every year and a half. But honestly, part of it is just out of laziness because I never want to go get my hair cut. And so I'll just let the lion's mane grow out. And then it gets too long. Once it gets to a point where it's hard to brush, that's when I'm like, okay, it is time. It's time for the chop. And I'll just go get like 8 to 10 inches chopped off at the same time. And they'll have short hair. I'm in my short hair era right now, but it's already grown a couple of inches since I got it cut off. I think in January is the last time I got it cut. I think something like that. I also donate my hair. It's super thick so they can make multiple wigs from one donation. Yeah, me too. I do it mostly because my hair is really thick. And actually, my brother does it too. He saw me do it. And so now he also grows his hair out and donates it every now and then. He is also in his short hair era. We both are. But I like to keep mine a little bit longer. So it's like shoulder length right now. It's a little bit, it's like just barely shoulder length. Yeah, my hair is just like monstrously thick. It gets down to like my shoulder blades and I can't stand it anymore. I'm just like, oh, God, it's so long and it's so thick and it drives me freaking crazy. And that's when I know it's time for the chop. It's also very fluffy. It grows really fast, it has a lot of volume, and it's impossible to tame. And so I'm just like, here, somebody else want this? Hiya, there, go make a wig out of it. For poor children, or whatever. It's like, go. Like, cancer patients, alopecia patients, go forth. Wear my hair. I sure as hell don't want it anymore. What's your hair type? Wavy and fluffy. I don't know. I haven't, like, I know there's, like, the number and letter system for, like, curls. They're loose waves, but it's still wavy. I don't know what my number would be. It's very flippy. I have, like, anime hair when I wake up in the morning. A starry. Yeah, shut up, Jay. Jay has seen my bedhead. It's a nightmare. Cause like when I went to visit, I wouldn't brush my hair when I first woke up in the mornings. It was just like, poof! You get to see it at like maximum frillies. It's just like, it is a fucking creature. And there's some days when I just don't brush it and it just goes a little crazy. It's like a creature. It is a goddamn creature. It is quite literally a Astarian. When my hair is that short, that's kind of what my hair does, yeah. When there's no, like, additional weight to weigh it down, when my hair is very short, I do honestly have kind of Astarian-esque curls because my bangs kind of will stick up like that. And, like, that's about... Yeah, you know what? Sure, fuck it. My hair texture is Astarian texture. Whatever the fuck that boy's got going on, that's what my hair does. I usually brush it, and so it's less curly once I brush it out, but when I wake up in the morning, that is what my hair looks like. It's very swoopy. I have to use a hair straightener on my bangs, but then usually I don't bother with the rest of it. Meanwhile, Ariana doesn't have to deal with that. Yeah, I put the hair brushing, hair straightening, hair, like, taming spell in cast off because I was just like, God, if I had magic, this is what I would do with it. This is 100% what I would do with magic if I ever got access to it. Just use it to do my hair in the morning so I don't have to bother. It'd be so nice. Oh, did I not? I guess I didn't. Okay, and now we're gonna grab here and do this. Yes. And now we're gonna grab here and do that. And now we're gonna grab here and do this. Actually, I like the other one. And now we're gonna grab here and change it to that. And then we're gonna grab here, change it to that. Oh, and one more. And then we're gonna grab here and change it to there. Ta-da! I hate having long hair, so I live vicariously through my characters. Honestly, same. That's why like all of my D&D characters have long hair, because I'm just like, I want to have long hair, and I can't deal with maintaining it, so I give all of my D&D characters long hair. That's my main reason why. Because long hair is so pretty. Long hair is so pretty, but I do not have the time or patience to care for it. And so I just make all my D&D characters have long hair instead. I wish I had the patience for it. I do not. Decidedly so. Would you rather never have to do your hair again or have $100 million? Okay, this is one of those would you rather things where there is a very clear right answer. Obviously, I would take the 100 million because then I can hire someone to do my hair for me. Like, guys, that's not a hard question. It's like would you punch your best friend for $1 million? Yes, and then I would give them the other half of the $1 million. And then we both benefit. There's a right answer. I would ask their permission first, obviously. But, like, there's a right answer. If they knew I was punching them to get $100 million, and that I would give them half of the $100 million, there's a right answer. Is you punch your friend, and then you warn them first, but you punch your friend, and then you give them half of the $100 million, and then you both have $50 million. There's a right answer! I would feel like such a burden if I had someone taking care of my hair. That's why you pay them. It's not a burden if you pay them for it. If someone just like really likes doing hair and you pay them, I could pay someone like $100 a day just to brush my hair and make it look cute in the mornings. That would be awesome. And then they'd get paid. And they don't even have to stick around all day. They just come over in the mornings and do my hair in the morning. I would absolutely pay for that. If I had $100 million. Of course I would. Easiest purchase of my life. Get Edward Scissorhands on the phone. I'm hiring him. All right. Oh. Guess who drew this entire thing and never saved it? I'm so cool and normal and smart about the things that I do. And I have been working on this thumbnail and I never once saved it. Now I have. I sure as hell have now. Oops. Oopsie doodles, as they say. But anyway. We are so fine and cool and normal. Put all that in a folder, and I'm gonna add my little stroke around it, my little white outline that I love so much. And I'm gonna duplicate all this, and I'm gonna merge it, and I'm going to make it like kind of a dark purple. Then I'm going to scoot it. Now I have my little drop shadow. Yay! Your Honor, my client pleads oopsie daisy. Me in court. Me in court. Alright, gamers. I'm done with the base for this thumbnail. I've finished my other little art piece I had to do. Yippee-ki-yay. It's almost time for me to end stream. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call a little bit early because my face hurts and I'm tired. But thank you guys for joining me. Like I said, we will potentially be doing another stream on Wednesday. I gotta double check my schedule, but I think I should be able to. And then we will be recording that stream so that I can also have it for YouTube content. Wow! But yes, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys for now, but I will see you all in a couple days. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you had a wonderful time. Fare thee well, friends. Goodbye!